Today is October 26th. It is the 20th day of the war between Israel, Hamas, and Hezbollah. Let's take an inside look into what the Hebrew newspapers are saying. Yediot Achronot's headline is Mechakim le'iska, waiting for a deal. What deal? It is the deal that's being negotiated to release the Israeli hostages that were kidnapped on October 7th into Gaza. The deal is mostly, it doesn't elaborate about the deal, but it has to do with women and children. Haaretz newspaper also states that there is advancements in the plan to release some hostages. Okay, down here, the next headline is Benes lo hayu nifgaim. It was a miracle that there were no injured. And that is about a missile attack yesterday in Rishon LeZion, and it was a direct hit into an apartment building, into a specific apartment where its owners are actually staying abroad, and there were no injured. Up here, it says Netanyahu. Kulam yitztarchu latet tshuvot. Gam ani. Everybody will have to give answers, including me. The subtext says, the subheadline, Acharei HaRamatkal, Rosh HaShabak, Rosh Amman, V'Sar HaBitachon. After the Chief of Staff, the head of the Internal Security, the head of the Intelligence, and the Minister of Defense, they all took responsibility. Well, yesterday was the first time that Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, noted the events that led to October 7th terror attack. And he says, "Hamechdal hazeh ibadek ad tom." These mistakes will be examined thoroughly. Down here, you see, Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel are alive. And this is an article that's inside that shares about the unity that Israel is having right now, which is the exact opposite of what Hamas was hoping for. Let's open the paper. We see this main article is about the two options that Israel has. Rak shtei efsharuyot. Shteihen achzariyot. Both of them are brutal, it says. It's about the two options that Israel has regarding the invasion into Gaza or the release of hostages. Israel cannot do both of them at the same time. And these photographs are showing both of the options. Yeah, the IDF tanks are ready to go in, while on the left we see an exhibition promoting the release of hostages. The square here in the middle says, Israel b'milchama, Israel is at war. Le'an mamshichim, where do we continue to? On to the next article about Qatar hakfula, double Qatar, it says. And this is an analysis about Qatar. On one hand, Qatar stands with America and Western countries. On the other hand, they support Hamas. Here we see a headline about a senior of the Hamas leaders. It says 21 years later, a senior of the Hamas leaders that was in charge of many terror attacks in Israel has been assassinated. Chatufim, hostages. This has been a daily segment in the newspaper. Each time it shows a different hostage with a family member holding their photograph and explaining. This is Idan, 28-year-old, hostage in Gaza, being held hostage in Gaza. And here on the left, we see an advertisement of an electronic appliance company, but they're coming with a message of unity for Israel with the Israeli flag. It says, the name of the company, Alam, Mechabeket et mishpachot hachatufim ve'hanedarim. We're hugging the families of the missing and kidnapped. Mechazeket et kochot habitachon ve'hatzalah. We're strengthening the defense forces. Umeachelet, and we're wishing all of Israel yamim shketim v'tovim yoter, quiet and better days. This article is about the Kibbutz Nir Oz, one of the villages, of the little villages that was around the Gaza Strip that got severely attacked. It says, the slaughter in Nir Oz, hatevach b'Nir Oz, ve'hatikva, and the hope for a future, le'atid, sheyaftiach bitachon, that will promise security. It says, hakibutz ishtakem, meaning the village will be restored. Ein optzia acheret, there's no other option. 400 residents were living in Nir Oz in the morning of the attack on October 7th. 100 of them have been murdered, kidnapped, or still missing. And this is a message of, this is an article of hope for a better future. Here we see pictures of the ones who were murdered on October 7th. It says become a daily segment of the newspapers, more and more faces of citizens, soldiers, children, and elderly. Israel b'milchama, Israel is at war. Hapanim shenizkor la'ad, the faces that we will remember forever. And here we see even a guy from the Philippines, 42 years old. And Berta, David, Ma'ayan, Yaakov. I'd like to show you this article from the magazine segment from inside the newspaper. It's about the photographers of the newspaper. It says, Ani ma'amin, I believe, shematzlema shomeret alai, that the camera is protecting me. And this is an article about all of the newspaper photographers, how they became war photographers. And it says they're doing an excellent job, avodah metzuyenet, and a dangerous job, avodah mesukenet. And it reports about a day in the life of the photographers. So this has been an inside view into what Israelis are reading today during the war. For more stories and updates, please go to allisrael.com and follow us on social media. Please share this with your friends so that they too can be informed and know what's really going on in Israel. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.